Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Welcome to the fourth day of Faculty Development Program on Higher Education during Forward Times and After, Challenges and Opportunities. Organized by IQAC Bishopmoor College, Mavelikara. Jim Collins, in his book, Good to Great, points out that good is the enemy of great. We all are good teachers, but a great teacher is something special. So today, our topic is who is a great teacher? Tiruchirappally Radhakrishnan has said, the true teachers are those who help us think for ourselves. But today, we can think about ourselves. How can I become a great teacher? Today also, we have Professor R Selvam, former Dean of Science, Bishop Heber College, Tiruchirappally. Dr. R Selvam is familiar to you. In the previous two sessions, he has explained at length about NAC accreditation process and strategies for 7 criteria of revised accreditation process. Definitely, these sessions were much interesting and informative. Today, we look forward to an equally beneficial and informative session. Who is a great teacher? I welcome you, sir, on behalf of IQAC of Bishopmoor College, Mavelikara. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir. You can
Hello.
start now.
Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Very good morning to everyone. I'm happy to be back again for the third day in succession. It's very rarely one gets invited for 3 sessions at a stretch. And in fact, it is my first experience to have 3 successive sessions. And I thank the principal and the IQAC team of Bishopmoor College for this wonderful opportunity to have 3 long sessions continuously. Well, at the outset, I would like to point out that this session on who is a great teacher, I'm not going to preach anything. It is to say that you have to strictly follow what I'm going to discuss in this presentation to be a great teacher and so on. Please understand that it is just sharing the perception and experience of someone who is in the field for quite a long time. So it's absolutely up to you to accept anything or reject anything appropriately. And please bear this in mind that this presentation in particular is aimed at my young faculty friends who just joined the profession and who actually are willing to have this as a career for the rest of their life. So please understand these restrictions while I am going to discuss this topic on who is a great teacher. In a way, this topic is relevant to what I discussed in the last 2 sessions on accreditation process. If one looks at seriously about the accreditation process and understand the mechanism, you will understand that a successful outcome of the accreditation process is ultimately depending upon the teachers. Absolutely, it is true that it is the faculty of a college who will be ultimately responsible for a college to have a good grade or otherwise. So more than ever now, all the colleges are looking at faculty who are committed to their profession. And this presentation is only the perception and experience that I have shared as a teacher in my career. When we go to the teacher personality, it's said that almost anyone can become a teacher. Absolutely, it's true only. Say, some of you might have been inspired by your own teachers and would have become a teacher. But for many of us, after our education, we are trying for so many jobs, and in our way, we may come across this position as a teacher in a college or a school, and we will just grab it. At least it happened to be that way. I never aimed to become a teacher. I was trying for many things, including banks. In fact, even I got a job in Reserve Bank. But at the same time, I got a job in my alma mater, so I prepared to be a teacher. So anyone who is with the basic eligibility can become a teacher. But please understand that it really takes a special person to be a great teacher. So we all join just as a teacher, and over a period of time, everyone can get transformed into a great teacher. And what a great teacher actually does is he is just not inspiring a student, and he must actually do so many things by which he must rise above the crowd and make a lasting impression in the minds of the students. So ultimately, what are the various characteristics that will make a teacher? It's not a single attribute that will see that you become a great teacher. There are many things like creativity, empathy, enthusiasm, commitment, a particular passion for your profession is very, very important. So it's a collection of all these attributes that will ultimately make a teacher as a great teacher. Now, you'll have to understand that the great teachers have a huge impact on the students they teach. It's absolutely true. So once you become a teacher, as it is said in the box here, you are going to affect the lives of thousands of students you are carried as a teacher. So we have got a great responsibility whereby we have to enrich the lives of thousands of students who come to you to learn something out of it. And basically, a great teacher aims to be a role model to his or her own students. And you can become a role model primarily by imparting knowledge to your own students. And you understand that in order to impart knowledge to your students, first of all, you have to be very concerned about your students. This is very important. Though I have listed it that you want to be a role model, to be a role model, you should try to impart knowledge. You should have knowledge, and knowledge has to be transferred in such a way that it will be useful to your own student so that they think you as a role model. But for your students to listen to you to gain some knowledge, what is primarily required is that you have to have a concern to your own students. You just are not happy with going to class, teaching your subjects, and coming out. You should show empathy towards your students beyond the classrooms, so that once they understand that you have a concern to your students, definitely they will attend you, and that is the way you can impart the knowledge. And by imparting knowledge, at one point of time, if they think that they are really benefited by you, you become a role model. Now, what are the goals of a great teacher? There is no set of rules that which you can strictly follow and thereby you can become a great teacher. It is not that way. As an individual, you have to set your own goals. And as I said here, only you know why you want to teach. Why you have become a teacher, only you have to answer to that. So there are maybe many reasons why you have become a teacher, but having become a teacher, one important role that you can play is you think that you have gained some knowledge while you learn your subjects, while you are learning or having your education in a college, in schools, you have gained some knowledge, and probably with the knowledge you just want to help the people. So please understand that there are many ways by which, as a teacher, you can help someone who is coming to you as a student. To say a few things, as a teacher, you can aspire to educate your students, you can inspire your students, you can learn from your students, and ultimately by doing this, you can bring about a positive change among your students. See, ultimate objective of a great teacher is you should have a significant impact on your student. When they finish the program and leave the college, sit down in the life, they should think of you that he is responsible, she is responsible. It's all because of my teacher I am here today as I am. And that kind of objective should a teacher have. And primarily, this can be a goal of a teacher. And if you are very sincere about it, ultimately you will become a great teacher. Now, the first and primary attribute of a great teacher is educating your students. So, after all, this is our primary responsibility. When you join the teaching profession, our primary responsibility is to educate the students who are coming to us. So, the most important quality that every teacher possesses is loving, educating the students. See, you should not do it as though it's a duty, or assigned a duty. Whether you like it or not, you become a teacher and it is my responsibility to teach. This should not be the attitude. You should love educating your students. Is there any specific way to educate your students? There is no specific style, and it can actually up to you. You have your own style, and whatever you may be doing to have the attention of your students. The most important thing is you ultimately engage them, motivate them, and inspire the students to learn. So this is the primary objective of a teacher. You have to educate them in such a way that they are able to learn what you are teaching in the right perspective. Often I used to say to my students that what little you learn, try to learn in the right perspective. There is no need for you to learn everything. What little you learn, You try to learn things in the way they should be learned. This is very, very important. And as a teacher, you should ensure that your students are learning everything in the way they should be learned. And many people teach out of a passion for their subject. See, this is again absolutely true. See, when we are, though we have major subject, there are certain areas of subject where you have a strong liking for it. So if you are assigned to that particular paper, you are very happy about it to deal with it. So you will be all happy to share what you are knowing about your student. So ultimately, in order to educate your students, you should have an interest in the papers, interest in the subject that you are doing, and that is very important. So once you have got that passion for your teaching, definitely you will excel as a teacher. And another thing that as a teacher you have to understand is, as a teacher, our responsibilities are not ending with just transferring our subject knowledge to our own students. It's more than that. See, we have to educate them about what is good and what is bad for life. That is, life lessons have to be also taught to our students. And let me tell you one example. See, in a kindergarten class, one day the teacher has come out with a large number of balloons, and she told the students that we will have a game today. And she gave balloons to all the students and asked them to write their names on it. All the balloons were filled and tied at the end, and they were all thrown into a nearby small hall. Now the teacher turned to the students and then told them, now the balloons are in the other room. Now you have got one responsibility. Go to the other hall where the balloons are everywhere. You go and try to find out your own balloon and bring it to me. So that was assignment that she gave to the students. So the students were quite interested and they were all happy, and they all rushed to the next room, and then they try to get a balloon and see whether the name is on it. So if their name is not there, then they just threw it away. They were overstepping on the balloons, and the process, what had happened is many balloons actually they got burst out, and only a few students were able to get their own balloons. So at the end of the exercise, most of the students were unhappy. In fact, some of the students started crying also. Now the teacher turned to all the students, okay, don't worry about it. Now we will try to play the same game in a different way. So again, the second set of balloons were brought about. The same process was repeated. They were all again filled up and then tied and thrown into the other room. Now the teacher turned to the students and then she told her student that, see, now when you go to the other room, you do one thing. Instead of just looking for your name on the balloon, whenever you get hold of a balloon, look at the name and read out loudly. You come and get your balloon. Suppose if you are having the balloon of Joseph, you call Joseph and give the balloon to Joseph. Suppose if Joseph is having the balloon of Ramesh, you call Ramesh. So you do this way, so that let us see what happens. To the surprise of the students, in no time, all the students were able to have their balloons intact, and they were all very happy about it. Now the teacher turned to the students. See, here is a lesson to be learned for lifetime student. If you are helping others to get what is theirs, somebody will help you to get what is yours. So this is a simple lesson, and the teacher has taught when the students are quite young, and they will never forget this simple lesson for the rest of the lifetime. So as a teacher, we have got responsibility not only to teach our subject, but you see to that the students are turning into a responsible citizen when they leave the portals of the college. So they have to be taught lessons for the lifetime, and they should be very good citizens when they leave the college. So the second important attribute I would say is enthusiasm. See, this is I actually personally got a lot of importance to this. See, it is said that why a student should be excited about learning when the teacher is not excited about it. This is absolutely true. See, you go to the class as though it is you are not going to go. It is essentially you have to go and do something about it. So if you go to the class with that kind of attitude, you will be just doing some work. It's not you are enjoying. So it has to be the way that you are teaching has to actually inspire your student. That's what I told you. You can become a role model only by imparting knowledge. In order to impart knowledge, you will have to inspire your student. So it's very important that you should be excited about what you are doing. fact, I had my undergraduate professor, and whenever he comes to the college, he'll be all happy to share what he knew about the subject. And always look at his face. He'll be happy. You could see that all the time he was smiling at us and then telling us. So usually when some teacher is doing that way, you are happy about it. You are happy to listen to him. And that is what the attitude of the teacher should be. So you should be excited about what you are doing as a teacher. And only if you are enthusiastic about what you are going to deliver, students will be also enthusiastic to listen to you. As it is said here, enthusiasm is contagious, and all it takes for a student to get excited about going to a class is a teacher who is excited and whose positive energy is filling the class. This is absolutely necessary. Please understand that this is one of the biggest issues now in many of the classes here. Students are not attentive. They are not inspired to go into the classrooms. And it is the responsibility of the staff members to see that you are excited to start with, and then you will be transferring that message to your own students so they become attentive and listen to what you are saying in the class. So enthusiasm on your part is absolutely necessary to be a teacher at all. And creativity is another important aspect of a good teacher. So creativity is key to captivating a student. As I told you, you have to have the attention of your students so that they listen to you. Only when they listen to you, they will learn something. So you have to gain the attention of your students, and for that you should be creative. So often when someone is reflecting on their education, in everyone's life, it would happen. You would remember something that happened while you were in a school or in a college, and remember it for the rest of your life. So they remember an episode of the real world illustrated an invaluable life lesson taught by the teacher, and they remember many of the games that they had by which they learned something out of it. And more importantly, showing a student something they have not seen before, or even showing something that is familiar but a new way, is the surest way to live and imprison the class for years. Absolutely, this is true only. See, I had my entire school education in a small village in Salem district, Tamil Nadu, and I had my entire education in Tamil medium only. I remember it was some 50 years back. And what kind of facilities that you would expect in a government school some 50 years back. But I had a science teacher for my 8th standard, Mr. Kanu, and he is an young man. He was an young man, and he is always excited about bring something from that school laboratory to our class and show that this is how it works and all. So one day he was actually teaching about mercury, and he told us that mercury is a liquid metal. We all know that the metals are solid substances, but we were also quite excited about to know that there is a metal which is a liquid. To our surprise, somehow he was able to think about a small vial with mercury, and then he actually left droplets of the mercury on our palms. Even today, I remember what he has done some years back. So this is actually something called as a creativity. To be done by every teacher wherever it is possible, so that your students remember the lessons that they learned that will last for years together in their lifetime. So creativity is another important attribute that should be there for a good teacher. Learn, it is very, very important. So teaching is one of those careers where you learn something new every day. Again, I have a lot of experience to talk about this. See, every day you learn something. It's not that you are teaching to your own students. By interacting with your own students, by interacting with your own colleagues in a college, you learn a lot of things on your own, and that is another important aspect of the teaching profession. So no matter what you teach, your knowledge in many fields will deepen and deepen as you got more years of experiences. And teachers can also learn a great deal about themselves through the teaching. This is another important thing that we gain as a teacher. See, we are not only teaching so that the students learn something. Through the process of teaching, we get to know better about ourselves. Now we have got a structured feedback mechanism for the students, wherein they try to assess the quality of the teachers in a professional way and all. But even some 40 years back when I joined the profession, I started doing this, getting feedback from the students in an informal way. To all my final year students in the last class, I would ask them, you take a paper and write your opinion about Selvam as a teacher. There are only two broad areas, Selvam as a teacher and Selvam as a person. And I would in fact insist everybody to write either in English or Tamil, whatever they think about me as a teacher and as a person. And invariably, I have no I mean, they were not critical about me as a teacher mostly. Everybody's happy the way I talk to them. But when it comes to Selvam as a person, students have pointed out that actually I am a little bit short-tempered. Even when they make a small mistake, I used to shout at them. And this kind of responses I was getting year after year when I started getting the feedback. So then I really understood that it's not necessary that I should shout at them unnecessarily. I should have a calm approach even if they are making mistakes. So actually, this kind of getting a feedback from the students has helped me to change my attitude as a person. So it has helped me to correct myself as a person. And later on, actually, I was not shouting as I was doing earlier. Maybe I was more experienced and I have become bold, but whatever may be, the feedback that I got from my students has really helped me to change my attitude as a person. So don't think that teaching is a one way, that you only teach to the students and they are supposed to learn everything. It is the two way. You can learn many things from your own students. That's what next point is saying. See, students can bring about their own experiences in their lifetime so that there is something new that you can learn, some information that you may not expect that maybe learned by this process. In fact, one day I was teaching about the biological clocks to my students, and as you know that we are all very active during the daytime, but we are sleeping during the night time. So there is a rhythm within our body that sets us to be active during the daytime, and we are taking rest during the night time. And if the rhythm is disturbed because of our activity, for example, now many of the youngsters they spend the late hours on mobile, and it's now everybody is telling that it's not good for your health. You have to be very careful, otherwise you may have many of chronic diseases soon and all. And when I was teaching this way, there was a student who stood up and said, "Sir, you are telling that if you are continuously keeping awake during the night time, your health will be affected. My father is a fisherman. He goes to the sea only at night, but he is quite well and healthy. How do you explain to that?" Then actually I was happy to see that here is a student who is contradicting what I'm saying. Then I said to him, okay, it's not abnormal. There are few people whose lifestyle is such that their rhythm is completely altered and modified. For example, even people who are having the shift systems, they've got a way of sleeping while they are taking rest. And there is, for every rule, there are exception, and your people like your father are exceptions to the common rule of balance. So the students may bring their own experiences to the classroom, and you should accept them. You should try to learn them. You should explain to them why it is that way. And hearing your students out when they want to voice their opinion can actually broaden your perspective. This is another important quality a teacher should have. So we should not think just because you are on the other side, you know everything, and the people on the other side, your students are not knowing everything. It is not that way. It has to be a dialogue. It should not be a monologue. You go on teaching and go on speaking, and you don't bother whether they are listening or learning. And it should not be the case. You should encourage your students to voice out their opinions, ask questions, even if they are meaningless. It's okay. Let your students encourage your students to go for asking questions. In fact, I used to tell my colleagues, only if the students are asking questions, we will be alert, we will go prepared to the class. Otherwise, we'll assume that there are absolutely no questions from the students. You'll be happy to go out with whatever you are doing, and it is not the way to grow. As a teacher, you have to learn everything new, and kindly encourage your students to ask questions, even if they are meaningless. It's okay, but it has to be a dialogue in a class, not monologue. And an effective teacher is actually striving to be better. This is something which is absolutely necessary for you to become a good teacher. See, when we have joined the profession as a postgraduate student, we are actually equipped with a knowledge which has helped us only to get through the examination. So really, most of us, we start learning only after becoming a teacher. So once you become a teacher, it is your responsibility to have better understanding about your subject, and you try to have the latest technologies that come in your way. In fact, when I started my career some 45 years back, the teachers were only using a chalk and talk method. But I vividly remember that when I was going for my first class to teach mitochondria, I prepared a chart on my own and took my class, and then students were impressed. Here is the teacher who is coming with a chart. So they were also surprised to look at me with a chart. For the first time, they are seeing somebody with a chart in the class. So as a teacher, you can be innovative, you can bring about new technologies. Now there are a lot of improvements and there are new tools at our disposal. Now everybody started having this PowerPoint presentation. And of course, I got my own reservations about the PowerPoint presentation. Please remember that as a teacher, if you are using PowerPoint presentation, it is something that you prepare on your own, not something downloaded from Google. See, this is a major problem now. When a teacher is supposed to teach a topic, all he or she does is go to the Google and type the topic and something comes out, you just copy out, go to the class, and mostly you don't teach, you just read it. It should not be the way. See, even with the latest tools and all, you have to basically teach it. The information should come from you. Suppose I got this presentation, if you are copying the presentation, I only know what I will be speaking for a particular slide. Just copy my presentation. Mostly you will be able to only read my presentation. That should not be the attitude of a teacher. So as a teacher, you have to equip yourselves with the latest strategies in the technology have to be learned by you. Now, think about the present COVID-19 scenario. As I was telling some of my friends know that digital education in India was implemented neither by UGC nor by MHRD. It is COVID-19 which should be given the credit for such a lot of webinars and online classes across the country now. So this is a new technology whereby you don't have classroom, you don't have students in the class, no classes at all. Everybody is at home, but still you are getting educated, you are teaching, students are learning. But here is a new technology. And now, as a teacher, you should have prepared to understand the technology and go with the technology. If you say that I am not comfortable with the internet, I don't know how to use the Zoom, or I don't know how to go to the Google Meet, it should not be that attitude. As a teacher, you should equip yourself with the latest technologies, and then only you can become an effective teacher. So no matter how long you have taught, you should always want to grow as a teacher. It is always said that teachers are always students. So whatever you will be teaching, there is always something to learn. See, as a teacher, actually, I was teaching one particular subject, self-evaluation, for more than 3 decades, 30 years, more than 30 years. Every year when I started teaching, there is something to learn new about it. So there are new information, new technologies which are coming in our way. And as a teacher, it is up to you to equip yourself with the latest information. You should not be just content with the notes that you would have got when you were an MSc student or MS student and just happy to transfer what you have learned some 20 years back to your own students. Lot of things, changes are happening in the field of education in your own subject, and it's absolutely necessary you update your knowledge. You go to the library, read the latest textbooks, come out with the best technology, and give you the latest information to the students. That should be attitude of a good teacher. And you can seek out professional development opportunities. That is why the IQAC is organizing so many FDP programs, only to equip the teachers. So whenever there is an FDP program on the technologies, techniques, the field of education, you should be attentive, try to learn something new, and that would help you in the long way to be a better teacher. And dedication is another important attribute of a good teacher. See, whether you have liked it or not, somehow you will become a teacher, and you also decided that you will continue to be a teacher for the rest of your life. When that is the case, you should have developed a dedicated attitude to your students and with an unwavering commitment to their education and well-being. It's very important. Because only if you've got this dedicated mind to do well for your own students, all other things will work. You cannot just go to your class and then teach, and that is where my responsibility ends. It's not the case. You should be concerned about the well-being of your own student, and it is easy to be enthusiastic about teaching when things are going well. But teaching is not always that easy. That is to say that our career as a teacher will have some good days, there are some bad days, and it is up to a good teacher to treat everything equally, and they should come out with the negative feeling that they may come across during certain patches of their career, and devote their full attention and concentration to learn more and to educate the students in a better way, and more than above, have concern for your own students. And this is very important attribute to be a good teacher. And as it is said here, a great teacher never gives up. That is to say that whatever issues you may have in your career as a teacher, there will be many problems if you are. It's not that easy to be a teacher. You'll have your own different sets of students with the different mindsets. They come from different backgrounds, so they cannot treat them equally. You may have classes. You may problem in the classes, and you have to have deal with your colleagues, your HOD, your principal, your management. So there will be a lot of issues, but in spite of everything, you should be dedicated to your role as a teacher and give your best to your students. That is what is ultimately will make you a good teacher. Discipline. Discipline is another important attribute. See, typically what is suggested is when it comes to teaching, many people are associating strictness with unpopularity. So the moment that you are branded as a teacher who is very strict, you become unpopular among the students of your department or your college. So typically people think that if you are strict, you are quite unpopular among the students. But the reality is, I always say this way, I had such a long experience in the field of education, and I come across hundreds of teachers in my career as a teacher. At the end of which I have made an observation. The observation is there are two kinds of people in this profession. The first category of people, I call them as teachers. And these are people who are really committed to their profession. They are always thinking about to give their best to the students. More than above, they are having a very concern about the students. They are disciplined, dedicated, and all good qualities that we could expect as a teacher will be there in them. They will be doing all that is expected of a teacher. But there is the second category of teachers whom I refer as the managers. See, these are the teachers who are not so committed to their profession, but somehow they remain as a teacher. So they are not very sincere in the way they prepare for the lessons, and they will go to the class, and somehow they will manage the class. They will not be involved in teaching, but they will be just managing the class. They will talk something that is not relevant to the subject. They will talk about the discuss movies, politics, and other personal things, and somehow see that the hour is over. So these I refer as the managers. But typically in the college you will have more managers or less teachers, or less managers, more teachers, depending upon the college that you are in. But typically what will happen now, managers are quite popular among the present students. But when it comes to the assessment by the alumni, it is the teachers who are remembered and respected by the alumni. See, once they leave the portals of the college, then only they really understand what you have done as a teacher while they were there in the classrooms. So it is not that if you are strict, you don't think that ultimately you become unpopular and students will have hatred towards that. That is not that way. On the other hand, as I told you, some adults look back on their education and remember their strictest teachers as some of their best. This is absolutely true. Absolutely true. You ask your alumni, they know who is the best teacher in your department, not your present students, because present students are happy with the manager, but only alumni will know what a teacher has done to him after he completed the program. So the truth is always there is rules to be enforced without being too strict. This is absolutely important, and you have to understand as a teacher. So while it is important to establish trust and communication with the students, it is also important to bring about structure and organization in the classroom. See, I strongly agree with the statement. Now what happens now, this is actually a major problem for many of the young faculty members. They don't have any control over the students in the classroom. I actually observed many classes towards the end of my career, wherein the teacher will be speaking and students will be speaking in groups among themselves, and you cannot even cross the classroom. There is such a loud noise coming from the classrooms, and the teacher will not bother about it. So the teachers are not having any kind of control in the classroom. No, there is no organization, there is no structure in the classroom. When that is the case, how could you impart, how could you go on teaching, how could the students learn? Absolutely, there is no room for students, teachers to teach and students to learn. So it is absolutely necessary for as a teacher that you set your own rules in the classroom. See, actually, I have followed this when I started my career. I always tell my invariably what will happen now. I will have my first hour and last hour. Most of the time it happened that way. I'll always have the first hour and the last hour of the day. So whenever I go to the class for the first hour, in the beginning of the academic year, I will make it clear to all my students. If you want attendance for my class, you have to be inside the class before I complete attendance. I cannot, because students will be coming one by one, and every time I cannot, I'll be teaching and they'll come and I'll make correction, and this cannot be done continuously. So at the beginning of academic year, I make it clear to my student, if you want attendance, you have to be inside the classroom before I enter. If you are not bothering about attendance, you do not wait for me. If you are late, straight away you can join the classroom, but don't ask for attendance. I'll make it very clear to them. And second condition they always lay down to my student is, I am having a role to play as a teacher. I am paid for teaching. You may not be here to learn, but I am here to teach. So if you are inside the classroom, you are not supposed to make any disturbance to my proceedings. And if you are not interested in my class, you need not attend my class. I will give attendance not for one day, for the whole semester I will give attendance. And if you think that going for a movie is more important than coming to my class, you can do so. I will definitely give attendance to you. To my surprise, one day when I was about to go to my classroom, a student came to me and said, "Sir, actually I want to go for a movie. Will you allow me?" I just laughed at him and said, "Okay, I'm happy that you came out with the suggestion of preferring going for a movie rather than my class. But remember that I'll give attendance only for my class, and for the rest of the hours, you have to manage by yourselves." And the student duly returned to the classroom and they attended the class. So when you set the rules clearly to the students and make it clear that you will strictly follow the rules, then they will follow the rules. Just you cannot say that this is what I'm going to do, and if you're not following it strictly, then they will take an upper hand. So it is absolutely necessary as a teacher that you have some structure and organization in the classroom. But here is another point to be considered. A great teacher is imposing rules and makes demands of their students, but in a way that is not intimidating. This is again an important thing. So when I make a rule that all latecomers will be denied attendance, I cannot uniformly do so, because uh, for our classes, no, the students are coming from faraway places by buses and trains. Sometimes the buses will be late, trains will be late, and just because of the buses and trains coming late, I cannot deny them attendance. So there is always exception. If somebody is coming from a long distance, even if he is not coming for the day, he will get attendance for my first term. So you can make rules, but always ensure that there should be some exceptions for students. So you cannot blindly enforce the rule. That is the point that you have to understand. You make your own rules, but understand the input. And they may be accepted from the rule. As classroom does not have to include being overtly strict, and over the time, the students appreciate the value of discipline. This is another important point. You are not only teaching the subject, you have to teach them the discipline also. This is again an important thing. Similarly, what would happen? I told you that I will invariably have the last hour also. So for one particular batch of botany major students, I was teaching allied zoology, and invariably my class will be the last hour between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the evening. And it is very difficult to have their attention for the class. But what I would do now, I just stop teaching just 5 to 10 minutes before the bell goes at 4 o'clock. Students will be restless and they'll be looking at me and saying, "Sir, can we go? I do some work," but I'll never allow them. I won't teach, but I won't allow you before the bell goes. But what would happen now? If I just assume a teacher who has just joined the profession would finish her teaching by 10 minutes in advance and will leave the classroom, all the students will be leaving, and my students will look at me, "Sir, see, sir, the next the adjacent classroom, the teacher has left when students are leaving. Why you are not allowing them?" I would say that if you want to go, you go and attend the class. If you are inside my class, this is the rules, and I won't allow you to leave the class before the bell goes. See, college has appointed one person to ring the bell at the appointed time of 4 o'clock. If everybody is going on their one, why should that person who is interested in the job of ringing the bell at 4 o'clock? And what important work that you have got that you are going to do by leaving 10 minutes and once? At least for me, I have a job, because I have a daughter who would have come to my home by 3 o'clock and waiting outside my door. If I go early, at least she'll be happy to have her done earlier. But I am here waiting for the bell, and I will not allow you. See, in spite of the repeated attempts throughout the year, I never allowed them to leave the class before 4 o'clock. But when I got the feedback from them at the end of the year, they were all appreciating that, "Sir, really you are good, and we have really learned about how one has to be disciplined." See, discipline has to be enforced. You have to be very strict. You cannot be just strict with one day and be liberal the next day. It won't work. You have to make your rules very clear to them and strictly follow them. But remember that while you follow the rules, If there is always room for some to have some assumption, then only you'll be a good person, not a teacher. Empathy is another important attribute of this. Concern. You should have a concern for your students. You should understand the needs of the students. See, a classroom is someone where you have got students with diverse backgrounds. Some will be intelligent, some will be average, some will not be below average, and they may be rich, poor. They are coming from villages, urban areas. So they are coming from diverse backgrounds. The needs are different, and you will have to be sensitive to the individual needs of your students. And the ultimate objective is that you ensure that everyone in the class is being attentive and learning something from you. Now, the needs of the students are actually different at different stages. So, when you are a kindergarten class, there you expect only the love from your teacher. But when you are in the high school, middle school, you expect your teacher to be understanding. But when a student is coming to the college, they want you to provide insight and wisdom so that you learn something, some knowledge that would ultimately help them to settle down in the life and start their life. So the needs of the students are different at different stages, and you have to understand, you have to have a concern to the needs of your students. And once a student believes that the teachers truly care for them, then there is no limit to what the students can achieve. This is another important thing to learn. Basically, this is the essential of a good teacher. Leave alone your knowledge in the subject and all other qualities. Basically, you should have a concern for your students. You should think about the welfare of your students. Only if you make it clear to your student that you may be a strict teacher, but if the student understand that you are strict only for the benefit of them, then they will be strict. They will not be happy about you being strict. So, the first and foremost requirement of a good teacher is that you should have a concern. You should have you should understand the needs of your students. And once they understand that you have a real concern for them, there is no limit to what a student can achieve in the lifetime. And inspire. This is another important thing. See, remember my first slide. You be a role model. You have to impart knowledge, but impart knowledge, you have to have their attention. You have to inspire your own students. So teachers seek to inspire students in all aspects of their life, and for many teachers, their greatest goal is to be a role model. So to be a role model, you have to impart the knowledge. To impart knowledge, you should have their attention, and only by inspiring your students, you can ultimately become a role model. So a role model is someone who inspires and encourages students to strive for greatness and teaches them through experience and commitment how to realize their full potential to become the best they can be. So every student is coming, and as I told you, they may have different capacities, and it is your responsibility to see that they are expressing their full potential and address what exactly their strength, weakness, and so on, so that they can be going out with a rich experience when they leave the portals of the college. And teachers can inspire an uninterested student to become engrossed in learning. So the first and foremost duty of a teacher is to have your attention of your students, and that can be done only when you are inspiring your students, and they can motivate them to participate and focus, and even bring an introverted student out of his shell. So often we hear people say that they were inspired to pursue their careers because of the teachers. Even our former President Kalam used to say that he got inspired by his two primary school teachers. They only showed him the way to become what he was as a scientist. So teachers can inspire. They can be inspiring to their students to have their career. They can help the student to decide the career. A great teacher can leave an indelible mark that lasts a lifetime. For many of us, some of our most important decisions were inspired by our teachers. This is absolutely true. Say, while we are in the plus two or in school system, there will be some teachers who are so good, so concerned about you, and you start loving that particular subject. And there will be some other teachers who are not doing that way, and you start hating those subjects, or you have disliking for the subject. So while you are coming to the college, naturally the tendency will be to choose some subject which is taught by a teacher who are so close to you. So some important decisions in the lifetime of the students are actually inspired by the teachers, and by being a good teacher, by inspiring your own students, you'll be actually doing such a lot of good things for many of your own students. So it's inspiring a student is another basic attribute of a good teacher. Change. This is ultimately what you are by being creative, by having a concern, by having deep knowledge, by having imposing discipline, whatever we have discussed so far. Ultimately, you are doing everything to bring about a positive change among your students. So that is the ultimate objective of a good teacher. Your students are coming from different backgrounds. Now they seek wisdom and knowledge from you, insight from you, so that they can settle down the life. So they make it their goal to help improve the quality of education for everyone. And these teachers are willing to work in high needs where there is improvised communities desperate for committed talented teachers. I still remember my 8th standard teacher, the way he taught me about the mercury. See, in that remote village, he was the one who taught me how to inspire the students. So teachers can bring about positive changes among the students to decide their career, and this is the ultimate objective of a great teacher. By all virtues, ultimately, a teacher should try to impart and bring about positive changes in such a way that the students are benefited in their lives. And finally, teaching is one of the most complicated jobs today. Actually, it demands a broad knowledge of the subject matter, curriculum, and standards. You have to be enthusiastic. You should have a caring attitude. You should have a love for learning, and you should have knowledge of discipline and classroom management techniques, and a desire to make a difference in the lives of the young people. So this is ultimately what are the attributes of a great teacher, and the single objective of bringing about positive change among your students. And for that, there is no single way to become a great teacher. As I told you, there are no sets of rules that you can simply blindly follow and become a great teacher. And what works for some teachers may not work for other teachers. So as a teacher, you have set your own standard, your own style of teaching. And now, that is to say, in a nutshell, you have to have a reputation. Reputation is something that cannot be built. You cannot order online to Amazon and get it next week or so. A reputation is something that is built over years together by you being consistent in what you are doing. So, if you have got certain set of rules and regulations, certain commitment, a certain way of style, and you have to do it continuously. Say, when I started career, many of the teachers and students were interested in referring the best books for the subject. I have observed that over the years, that most of the students, they are now referring bazaar notes and get through the examinations. Now, unfortunately, even the teachers started referring the notes and not going to the textbooks. So over the years, I found out that even the teachers have changed, but I never changed. I always went for the best books for the subject. I always visit the library. In fact, my library used to be happy to have me regularly visiting the library. And at the end of my career, I'm quite happy and content that I gave my best to the student. I have no regrets at all for being a teacher, and I have no regret that I made a mistake while I was a teacher. And I'm quite happy and content that I have really given my best to my students. And that is what is ultimately you need as a teacher at the end of your career. So it all takes a perfect blend of about qualities to create a truly great teacher who can have a lasting impact on virtually every student. So by being a quality teacher, you can make a lasting impact not on one student, but every student who comes to you seeking insight and wisdom. And to end up this presentation, uh, I'm happy and content to say that as a teacher, we are expected to bring about positive changes in the lives of your students. And I'm quite happy and content to inform you that at least I have helped one student to find his stars in the sky. And I'm very happy to introduce one of my star students, Dr R Selvam from New Delhi. He was my student at Heber College during 1990 to 95. And I'm happy to tell you that this gentleman, Dr. Adinarayanan, has served one president and two prime ministers. While Dr. Kalam was the president, he was in the advisory committee on biotechnology and was serving Rashtrapati Bhavan for 5 long years. After that, he has become the scientific advisor on bioterrorism to Dr. Manmohan Singh, and now presently also he is in the Prime Minister office as the scientific advisor on bioterrorism. So I'm happy to have someone who has served a president and two prime minister as my student. In one way or other, I helped this student alone, actually at least this student to have found his stars in the sky. And this Nadinarayanan used to be in touch with me for quite a long time, but because of his position in Prime Minister office, after he is not in touch with me. But he used to greet me on Teachers' Day. And this greeting I received in the year 2007 on Teachers' Day. And while he was sending me this message, he was actually in Switzerland organizing an international seminar. The photo, the one with the white shirt is Selvam, some 35 years back. And this is Adinarayan in 1995 or so. And this is the message that he sent specifically on the Teachers' Day in the year 2007. And I know you were able to read it out. What I read, we proudly cross paths with thousands of people in the lifetime and hardly even noticed a lot of them. But there are few like you, sir, who affect our outlook in an important way, who inspire us in a way no one has before, who leave a mark on us for all the time to come. I'm grateful that our paths crossed the way they did because you are that special someone who has taught me how to live. I'm so glad that we met. You are someone I always cherish in my inner chamber. So this is the touching message that I have received in the year 2007 on Teachers' Day. And I personally consider this message as something equal to Bharat Ratna. Though this was not actually given by a president of India, it was given by someone who has served a president. I think I am right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is the end of my presentation. And I wish you all the very best to be a great teacher in your unique way. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Sir, I finished my presentation, sir. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for a very insightful session on how to become an effective teacher by adapting and adopting to the requirements of time. We're extremely thankful that you reminded us about the importance of dedication, determination, discipline, and empathy in teachers' life. And it was very kind of you to end on a personal note because I think as teachers, we all cherish that personal moment we have with our students. Thank you very much, sir. Now we have a few questions.
Thank you very much.
We have a question from Mr. Senthil Kumar, Raja Sarpoji Government College, Tanjavur. And the question is it possible to implement discipline in the current scenario?
Yes,
it's a big challenge to teacher community.
It's not something difficult. Say, first and foremost, as I told you, in the first class itself, you make it clear. This is the way you will be inside the classroom as a teacher. Outside the class, you are my friend. You can be dealing in any way. But inside the class, I want an order. It's not something difficult. See, I started my career as a young man, not this way. What I'm teaching is, even when I started my career, students are always students. Students are always students. Irrespective of the time frame, if you are strictly making it clear to students that first and foremost, before that, you have to make it clear to your student that you are having a concern. You want to the best from the student. You want to give your best, and if they understand that you have a concern for them, they will not create any problem in the classroom. It is possible. Even today, you can bring about control, provided you make it clear to a student that you are concerned about you will give your best to them. So by coming and listening to you, they will be benefited. If that message is clearly understood by your students, they will be very attentive, they will be cooperative. Absolutely can bring about the control. You set your rules, be strict with them. Don't be liberal. When you set the rules, you have to strictly follow them. Don't worry that you being branded as a strict teacher and don't worry about it. All along my career, most of the students, they'll never come to me. They'll never even come close to me. Because I am branded as one of the strictest teachers in the department. I used to be strict only for academic things. I will not be having anything personal against me. I never had any personal against not even a single student in my entire career. I always know that students are students. So only for academic things, I used to be strict. But even for that, I have been branded as one of the strictest teachers. Most of the students, they will never come to me. They will run away to the very sight of me. Will see them that they are running away from me. But once they complete the program, on their own, many of the students have come to me and said, "Sir, we removed me. I was a student. I'm happy, sir, that you taught me this particular subject. I remember the way you taught cell biology to me. Even I am following what you have taught to me in my classrooms." So absolutely can bring about control. It's not something that is not possible to be a teacher.
Thank you, sir. the participants can actually pose their questions if they have questions. So I have a question for you. I'm Divya from Bishopmore College. And how is it possible for the teachers to juggle the credit and semester program, the research and everything? Because we have paper valuations, we have
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
internal
You are
sessions.
absolutely
It
right.
becomes quite
Absolutely right. See, you are absolutely right, madam. See, fortunately, when I was a teacher, I remained only as a teacher. Now, this college is becoming autonomous now. You only become a glorified clerk and not a teacher. You have very little time for actually teaching. You are very right. Now our focus is on something else. There is a strict schedule of giving assignments, giving tests, first internal, second internal, and absolutely you don't have any time for teaching. You are absolutely correct. But that is the system. There's a system, and we cannot do anything against the system. But you are inside the class for 45 minutes. You give your best. See,
okay,
teaching is the one profession where nobody can enter into a classroom and say, don't teach well. I used to say these words. Teaching is the only profession where nobody will enter into class and instruct you, you don't teach well. Nobody can do it. Inside the classroom, you are the boss. You can give your best. You be committed and give your best. So once you give your best and you are actually transferring the message that you are doing the best for your own students, then everything will be okay. These things, absolutely, as a teacher, now you have a lot of other responsibilities like what you have suggested to do, but it is part and parcel of the job, and this is system, and as an individual, you cannot make anything against it. You are absolutely correct. There are a lot of other responsibilities that teachers have, and very little time for actually teaching. You are right.
Thank you, sir. I don't see more questions. I think the participants are very much inspired from what you've said, and I think they've actually agreed to most
Okay,
of
I
it. So I
understand
don't
it.
see.
In that case, it's okay. As I told you, all dear participants, kindly remember that, as I mentioned in the beginning, it's not a preaching by me, and it's only sharing my perception and experience as a teacher for about 35 years. And it is absolutely up to you to accept any view or reject outright everything. But I wish you the very best that having committed to be a teacher, you give your best. This is the message that I want to give my all friends. In fact, I used to say to all my young colleagues in the department, you have certain potential. You try to give the best potential that you got as a teacher, and rest will be automatically coming to you over the period of time. Thank you very much to everyone. Hope all the 3 days sessions were useful to all the participants. Once again, I thank the principal and IQAC team of Bishop College Mavelikara for this wonderful opportunity to be giving 3 webinars at a stretch. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
So there's just one last question. I hope you wouldn't mind it. There's one last question.
Yes, no problem.
So this is from Marin George from Alagappa University. And her question is it possible under online presentation through Google Meet and Zoom to implement discipline? I think discipline is the key word now. Is it possible under online presentation through Google Meet and Zoom to implement discipline in this COVID scenario?
No, it won't work. It won't work. In fact, I'm preparing another presentation whether these online classes can replace the classrooms. Absolutely, it won't be. It won't be. Classrooms are the best mode of educating the students. These are all, they can only supplement to what is being taught in the classrooms. They cannot totally replace the classrooms. Classrooms will be there. They are the best way to teach and best way to learn. And these online classes, they are only useful in a situation like this when you cannot actually physically meet in a classroom in a college due to unavoidable circumstances. But they cannot totally replace the classroom. Classroom teaching is the best.
Okay, so this is one more question from Asai Tampi from Alagappa Government Arts College. There's one more question, sir.
So please tell me.
And the question is, you had mentioned about managers and teachers at one point in your presentation, and I think this question is with reference to that. The question is, sometimes a real and a sincere teacher suffers from the surroundings, and how can they actually deal with it?
How can you?
A real teacher sometimes suffers from the surroundings, and how can one actually deal with it?
Actually, no, as a teacher, you will have problems. You will have problems. But in spite of all the problem that you have from your own students and your colleagues and other personal things, you have to focus on your students. See, when we are having our problems, we used to have some develop some bad habits. Under stress, you start smoking and you start drinking and all. To give some common examples. So there will be stress in everyone's career. I personally had a lot of issues while I started my career. There was even a situation where I had to leave as a teacher in the college. That was the real situation why I was in, but I never gave up. What I did was I devoted my entire energy and I focused my energy to learn more and more and give my best. That's one way. See, every teacher will have some good days and some bad days, and you should treat everything, try to treat everything equally, and you focus positively. You learn to focus yourself. It has been trained. It is easy to get bad habits, but it's very difficult to be all right when you are having a stress situation. But you have to work hard, focus on what is good for you, and you won't try to improve irrespective of all other issues. You have to be consistently be good as a teacher. You don't make any compromise in the quality of teaching. And if you continuously do it in spite of all your negative situations, one day or other you will be recognized as the best in the college, best in the department. Don't give up. Don't give up. As I told you in my presentation, good teachers they never give up. They fight. Whatever may be the situation, they fight and they try to do the best. That's the attitude. There will be ups and downs in our career, and we have to be straightforward and always give our best to your students. Don't make any compromise. Don't make any compromise in the quality of teaching. Always update your knowledge and go to the class with confidence and give your best. See, when you go to the class, you have to go with confidence. How will you get the confidence? Only when you have a deep knowledge about the subject that you are going to teach for the day, you will gain the confidence. See, when you are going fully prepared, you will really enjoy that particular class. Everybody would have experienced that. When you are going fully prepared with all sense of all information, you will enjoy the class. When you enjoy the class, you are giving the best. Students are benefited. Do it every day for every class, then automatically you'll be able to.
Okay, so thank you. Just one last question for the day. There are no more questions. The last one. What is your opinion of government's use of teachers in non-teaching duties such as conducting elections, which often prove risky? The question is from Shantanu Ganguly, Netaji Nagar Day College, West Bengal.
At least you are absolutely right, madam. Say now the teachers are used for not only for conducting elections and for many other purposes. In Tamil Nadu, teachers are being used, but it's it's actually at some point of the time they started using teachers, and the tradition is continuing even today. And it's all because now they think that we are educated, we could deal these things in a better way. That is the reason why we will be impartial, we will not be siding with any political party. And that is the assumption why they are using teachers for conducting elections. But the problem is, government can actually take care of us while you are doing this duty. So what happens now, you will be given that ballot box and you have to go to the booth on your booth. What best they could do, they take you in the vehicle and the police escort and see that they are providing basic amenities in the place where you're staying, the school room, basic facilities for toilet, food at every appointed time. If that is being taken care of, you won't mind about doing it. See, we are concerned about doing additional work because government is only giving responsibility, it is not providing us any help. So, even conducting plus 2 examinations, 10th board examinations, the teachers have to get the questions paper from the CEO office and on her own risk, she or he has to go to the designated school to conduct the examination. What will happen if somebody is actually taking out the question paper, she is met with an accident, so she may be late because the bus is getting delayed, auto is getting repaired. So we are, as the teachers, we are giving a lot of other responsibilities for which we are not supposed to be. But now the government is thinking that as an educated person, we will be doing this in a better way, in an impartial way, and that is how we are getting it. And the package that they are giving is also minimum, it is not that encouraging. But more than that, they should provide the basic facilities. If the basic facilities like transportation, food and stay is taken care of, you will not actually have a complaint on this. That aspect should be taken care of by the governments. In that case, we don't mind doing these additional duties like conducting elections and so on. Absolutely right. They only give us the responsibilities, but they don't bother how you carry out the duty. You're right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You've spent actually 3 days with us and a lot of time. You have talked to us at length about the revised NAC process, the strategies, the different steps that we have to take care of as we go on to prepare the self-study report. And today, I'm sure you've inspired all of us to kind of, fine-tune our teaching skills and to be better teachers. Thank you very much, sir. It was an honor listening to you for the past 3 days. Thank you very much. On behalf of IQAC Bishop Moore College, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. I wish all the very best to all the participants and also the Bishop College. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Thank you, one
Thank
and
you,
all.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.